Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Dylan, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a weed horror story that happened to me. So, me and my friend decided that we were going to go downtown, um, in the city that I live, and we were going to go and meet up with some guys and go smoke on the beach. So, it was not my first time smoking, and it was definitely not her first time smoking. So, we were kind of, I don't want to say experienced, but we know what we were doing. So, throwback to the first time that I ever smoked and a few times before that, or before this happened to me, I have had this thing where sometimes when I smoke, I hallucinate really badly and my body like gives out all energy and I kind of just collapse. Sometimes I feel really nauseated and sometimes I feel super sick, well, nauseated. Sometimes I get really bad migraines and when I smoke, so it's just sometimes it's a really bad experience and sometimes it's really good. So the time that we were down at the beach, I had ate I had eaten breakfast that morning and before my friend came and picked us up, but then that was all I ate that day. So I hadn't eaten really anything at all that day. And I knew that when we started to smoke, that was going to be a huge mistake. So we started smoking, we're sitting on the beach, we're chilling, we're relaxing, and it starts to get a little chilly, not too bad, but it's a little bit cold. So we're smoking, chilling, relaxing, and all of a sudden it starts to hit me that I really should have gotten something to eat before we're sitting on this beach and there's not anything anywhere near us. So I kind of started to freak out a little bit internally. I'm like, oh my goodness, I should have eaten. Oh my god. I'm gonna start hallucinating. Something's gonna happen. I'm gonna get left on this beach. Something. So I start hallucinating and I start telling my friend at the time that I was like, I need to get something to eat. I need something in my body. Like, this is not okay. Like, I feel like I'm about to puke everywhere. Like, this is not cool. So they're like, oh no, you're fine. Like, whatever. I actually started, like, my body started shutting down. Keep in mind, we're at this beach where there's tons of tourists and people staring. So at this time, it was like, maybe it was like 6 o'clock, maybe somewhere around there. I think we were hanging out downtown at like 2, and then we walked to the beach from downtown. So it might have been around like 4 or 5, maybe. So we were on this beach, and I had nothing to eat, and I was just internally freaking out. And maybe that's why my body had such a bad reaction, because I was having a bad high. My body just wasn't okay with this. Now, this also wasn't my weed, so I don't know what it was. Maybe that type of weed, that strain, just didn't interact well with my body. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, I was flipping out. I had no food, no water. I felt like I was going to be left on the beach, and it just wasn't a good time for me. So my friend and these two guys start talking, and I can kind of hear them whispering, but I don't know exactly what they're talking about. And I'm also hallucinating, so I don't know if it's actually happening or what. But this one guy has a crush on my friend, and so he's talking to her and trying to say, oh, she'll be fine. We can go, like, we're gonna go to the movies. You can come with us. She'll be good all by herself. It's not that bad. She'll sober up. It'll all be okay. And at that point, I'm flipping out. I'm going, no, 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 no. You cannot leave me on the beach by myself. And I kind of started second guessing my friendship right there, because I was like, is she actually gonna leave me on this beach? Is she gonna strand me here? Like, what is happening right now? So I talked to her. I was like, hey, you come here right now. You are not leaving me on this beach. And she's like, I'm not gonna leave you. That's not, like, I'm not gonna be that type of person. I'm not leaving you. And we have actually talked about this like a couple of weeks ago, or maybe like a month or two ago. And she was like, why did you think I was gonna leave? I'm not about to leave you on a beach by yourself when you're like hallucinating for some guy. So thank God for that. But yeah, so we're sitting on this beach. It's freezing cold by now. It's getting dark. I'm so cold, but I'm laying down in the fucking sand because I cannot move. And I told my friend, I'm like, you know what? This is so stupid. I should be able to get up and I'll sober up by the time I get to the other beach. Just you watch. And I physically could not stand up. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't move. I literally was laying in the sand. It looked like I was dead, I'm sure. And I'm sure some of the people walking on the beach were like, this bitch is dead. This bitch is like drunk on the beach, dead. But no, I was high and almost dead. So I don't know exactly what time this was, but I told my friend, I was like, hey, get my phone, call this number, tell her to come pick me up. I am about to throw up everywhere. I need her to come pick me up. Now, keep in mind, the drive from my house, or where she lived, to where we were is a good half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. So I figured, okay, if she came to pick us up, that would give us enough time for me to get to the other side of the beach and get to the road where she could pick us up, and then maybe I'd sober up, you know, I don't know. But I couldn't risk us going on the bus and like I just couldn't do it. So I was like, I need her to come pick me up. Now, this was a really good family friend, and so I trusted her to come pick us up. But otherwise, I would not just call a random person or a random, you know, friend or whatever to come pick you up when you're, like, unless you really trust that friend. But, anyways, so we're waiting on my friend or my family friend to come pick us up. And at this point, I'm like, I need to get to the other side of the beach. And my friend is like, come on, you can do this. You can sit up. And she was also high. Like, let's keep this in mind. She's fucking baked out of her mind. I'm laying in the fucking sand freaking out. Like, this is just a bad situation all around. So I get to the point where I can sit up, but I'm still hunched over with my head in my lap, basically. Like, I can't see straight. I can't fucking, like, breathe barely. And I'm not trying to over dramatize this. Dramatize? That's not a word. I'm not trying to over dramatize this, but literally, this is how I felt. I felt like my head was not on my body. I felt like my stomach was a fucking hurricane. So there is that. So I finally get to the point where my friend can help me stand up and help me get to the other side of the beach. So, and walking in sand, like, not high, is pretty fucking difficult anyways. And when you're stoned out of your mind and flipping out, it's really difficult. So I'm really nauseous at this point, and I have to kind of wobble my way to the other side of the beach. My friend is like, come on, you can do it. You got this. You got this. And is trying to, like, help me get to the other side of the beach, but I have to take, like, 5 steps at a time. Maybe not even 5 steps at a time. I'm wobbling to the fucking other side of the beach where the parking lot is so that I can get picked up, and I'm freaking out. I am like, oh my god, I'm gonna get in trouble. My mom's gonna find out. This is gonna go terrible. What's gonna happen? All this ish. And so I'm like, okay, I need to calm down. I got this. And so I'm wobbling. And then, okay, so then this lady comes up to me and my friend, and she's like, teenagers. And I think she's a little tipsy at this point too, because she was hilarious. But she was like, oh, teenagers. I remember when I was that young, you know, getting drunk on the beach. I was like, girl, I wish I was drunk right now. I wish I wasn't stoned off my ass. Like, I wish I wasn't fucking hallucinating and shit. So that was that. So I'm like, haha, funny, yeah, okay. So I'm wobbling still, like, steps, baby tiny fucking steps, all the way to the parking lot. And I literally step foot on concrete and I'm sober. I was like, what just happened? How the hell did I sober up so quickly? Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know how I could be that sober that quickly. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. Maybe you guys know something I don't know, because I have no idea why that happened. But it was seriously, as soon as I hit foot on the concrete, I was sober. I was like, I told you. I was like, as soon as I hit the concrete, I'm gonna be completely fine. And then she didn't even have to come pick us up. We could have taken the bus. But either way, my family friend comes to pick us up. She gets us in the car and we drive to my house, and she's like, I hope you guys are okay. I'm glad you guys are safe, you know. And they go on to tell me, you know, maybe your body just isn't cut out for weed, you know? Maybe you're allergic to it. Maybe you need to eat before you smoke. That's kind of my main thing. I need to eat before I smoke or directly after I smoke so I don't start to hallucinate. I'm not exactly sure why that happens to me, but it has been a continual pattern when I don't eat and smoke or smoke and eat. So that's that. That's my little marijuana horror story. I have plenty more. If you guys need to hear more, if you guys want to hear more, go ahead and give it a thumbs up down there, and I will be glad to tell you more of my weed horror stories. So without further ado, that was the end of my video. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and ask them down below. I'll have my Ask FM linked as well, if you guys want to ask me questions there. Yeah, so that was that. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.